Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So good to have you on, Kelly.
I am always so excited to sit here, and we do this pre-gaming thing, right? So no, we're not drinking, although we might should have been drinking. But when I say we pre-game, we get together and we get to catch up and we have the stupidest shit that we're talking about. And everybody that knows me, everybody that sees my video, I will talk about having ADOS, which it's like real stuff here. And the struggle is real. So I say ADOS, attention deficit, ooh, shiny. And people are like, it's a real thing. In my world, it is.
Oh yeah,
Bling,
100%.
glitter. I'm like all over it. But I am neurodivergent. I am a major. I've learned, and it's gotten worse as I gracefully have gotten older. I am very ADHD, and and there's pros and cons with that. But in my head, it's like a basket of squirrels live there, and they're always having a party.
Mhm.
And it's like, okay. And I go, okay, don't worry. I'll give you a roadmap to deal with me, because we'll eventually get to Narnia, but we might take a whole lot of side streets to get there.
Oh yeah, the scenic route for sure.
Yeah. See, that's the great way to put it. The scenic route.
Yeah.
So yes, it's always good to see you ladies, and it's always so much fun. And yeah, so we're talking about this, guys. We're talking about this. And let them know if you want to come and hang out with us for a pre-game session. And we're going to call it the what the fuckity fuck.
Yeah, yeah.
It
for
has,
sure.
it might have something to do with paranormal. It might have something to do with psychic stuff. It might just be bullshit,
Yeah.
but it's real life, and it just is. So, you can come in pre-game with us. They could do that, right?
Oh, that'd be a
Oh
blast.
yeah. And it's very likely to be an hilarious experience.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Guaranteed. I think that we could get like paid for that. Like, like it's a comedy show. It's a
Oh
virtual.
yeah.
Oh, for
I'm
sure.
all over it. I'm all over it. So,
We're all there
ladies,
for it.
what is happening? What's going on? What are we doing today?
Well, we definitely want to talk about anything new that you have out. I know you got the new website launch and the boot camp and all that stuff. So we're kind of hoping that you come on and share a little bit about that.
I would love to. So I've been working, everybody that has seen or caught glimpses, or maybe you've not seen me because I have not been as active. I'm doing a lot of classes, so I've gone through some different boot camps myself to help business, to grow business. And then I'm in a social media class right now, which is phenomenal. I did a class on all tech, all of your recording and stuff, because if you have all of your stuff in place, if you've got a strong, framework and backbone, then everything else is easy. And especially for somebody like me that I'm tech savvy to a degree, but when it comes to business, there's a lot of pieces that you need in order to make business successful, where you're not like a hamster on the wheel, chasing your tail. And we know that phenomenal social media, I won't name names, but social media platforms have their own rules, they have their own algorithms. There are several different reasons why you can't reach people. And I needed to understand that, because I'm like, I have over 2,000 people on my business page. I had over 2,000 people on my personal page. And I'm like, why don't I get that interaction? What is going on here? Well, I learned a whole lot, still learning, but I'm learning with the social media class how to hack the algorithm, because the most popular platform like Facebook, they have certain rules, and they will bury your posts so people will not see them. And people have no idea that that's happening. And it's so crazy that you're like, oh my God, I can't even follow all the rules. I mean, I have a hard enough time following rules for life, let alone social media rules. But I went through and started moving everybody from my business page, the Psychic Medium Kelly McLeod, over to my personal page, which sounds backwards, but it's important. I took over 2,100 people on my personal page and knocked it all the way down. I'm just around 760 people now.
Oh,
And
wow.
I'm getting a lot more exposure. You wouldn't think that, but I'm getting a lot more exposure, and connecting and rebuilding relationships that way. So I've been busy learning, technology. I've been busy learning the social media, how to reach people better. So that's really, it's exciting for me because I'm always learning, and I'm always, investing in me. And I tell people this, invest in yourself, regardless of what you want to do. Invest in yourself, because not only does it make you feel good and it makes you happy, but when you invest in you, you're saying, I am deserving, I am worthy. And then what happens is the universe gives you more of that. You're attracting more of that. Okay. And that's so important, because a better you means a better you for the other people in your life. It all goes back to that whole, we are a well. And I'm not discrediting, again, I'm not discrediting men, but women, we're multitaskers. Usually the men are super phenomenal. They go to work, they work hard, they make the money, they are breadwinners. But women are, we're in an equal society where women have to have jobs too, and if you have the luxury to stay home, that's phenomenal. I think that that's great. But we do the work, plus we do behind the scenes. We're taking care of the kids. We're taking care of parents. We're taking care of our bosses. We are, our spouses or our partner. So we have so much, we do our own stuff plus the behind the scenes. And when we talked, we mentioned the coaching programs and stuff like that, that's where it all comes in at, because I am seeing we've had this huge influx of energy. As everybody knows, we have gone through the Mercury retrograde. Okay, I only got a couple of scars from that. I mean, shit. Yeah, like and what's crazy, we were in like a Mercury retrograde for like just over 2 weeks, right? I did not get my ass handed to me until the last couple of days. And when it hit, it freaking hit hard. So at the same time, even though a new moon is a good moon, we had a new moon. Mercury was coming out of retrograde. It handed me my ass and something fierce last weekend. And I started listening to clients, and everybody was like on the same page. I spent an entire weekend being emotionally triggered, and I couldn't even tell you why. I cried because there was a milk commercial. I cried because Winnie looked at me and it looked like she loved her mama. I cried because I stubbed my toe. I cried because I realized there was no more macaroni and cheese. I'm just kidding. I wasn't eating macaroni and cheese, but that was the degree of it. It was like the stupidest shit. Then the feels came. Memories came up on Facebook with my mom. And man, there goes the waterfalls. And I'm just like, I can't even adult. I can't do shit. And so now we're out of that. so we're out of that. We're good. But guess what? We have fall equinox coming in on Saturday.
Lovely.
Can we get a break? Like, and it is good, but what my sister told me is that, I don't know, one of the moons is in Virgo or something. I don't keep up with that. So Jenny, if you have some insight, share it. Jill, if you have insight, share it. But it's a lot about your goals, your dreams, your aspirations, where it's very focused, and it's really, it's kind of intense. And I feel that because now I'm like, finally I got, upright. It's like being like a penguin, and you get knocked on your back and your feet are like, and it's like, okay, so somebody set her back upright,
Yeah,
and I got
call
my feet
myself
back
a
on the
turtle.
ground. Huh?
Call myself a turtle when that happens.
Oh yeah, I don't know why I could only see like a penguin. Maybe a penguin's like somebody's spirit animal or something today, but okay. But you're right. It's like being a turtle. I'm sitting there going, oh, I'm just kind of like balancing here. And it was like finally after the weekend, somebody took me and put me back on my feet. And I'm like, okay, we can start moving again. And I was like, whew, I don't know what that was all about, but I'd prefer not to ever do that again. But we know we're human. Shit's gonna happen,
Yeah.
But I'm hearing so much from my clients, and it's really crazy that I am getting people now. I used to get mid 40s and up. I'm getting people now as young as 27, 28, 30 years old. And I'm like, what is happening here? What is going on? And they start out with a reading and getting the guidance and the clarity, and when we really get to the bottom of things, it's like, I have put all my time into getting my master's degree, and I've got it, and I don't know anything different now. Like, where do I go from there? People that are so as young as like 27, 28, all the way up to the other day, I had somebody on the phone that was 78 years old. And she's like, my husband passed away. I don't know what to do with myself anymore. My kids are all out of the house. They've got their own families. They got their own stuff. Now I'm empty nesting it. And she goes, I don't know who I am. And that's what we run into again, more women than men. And again, I don't discredit the men. But women, we invest all this time and energy into everybody around us. That's what we've been born into, and that's what we always feel is part of our job. I know I was always making sure to take care of things, and I'm scheduling doctor's appointments, and I was, lucky to be home based. And being home based, I can multitask. I can feed the dogs. I can get a load of laundry in. I can talk to my clients. I can call and make doctor's appointments and get everything done, more so than somebody that is at a physical job away from, and I feel blessed to be able to do that. But then I would also have my husband turn around and say, so what did you do today? I'm like, besides get ready to like eat your face off because you made a comment like that? Let me tell you what I did today. My list is longer than Santa's list, and I don't think that people take that into consideration. And then at the end of the day, you're tired, you're like, okay, if there's a breadcrumb left, then maybe I can eat for a couple of days. How many people have we've all been there, right? And then at the end of the day, you're like, well, where did the time go? And I really wanted to do this, and I wanted to get this done. For us women, we go, well, I got my hair done. Jill, I know that you get your nails done.
Yep.
So that's part of our self-care. That's like, when you go get your nails done or get a pedicure or something, you get to sit down and you just get to be
Yep.
for a minute. You know, and it's the most beautiful permission that you can give yourself.
Yeah, and it's funny, my nail girl would go perfect with this group. Like perfect.
Yeah. Oh, we'll have to bring her in sometime.
Yeah, well, because she actually has her business out of her home. And she starts at like 7 in the morning and she works until like 8, 9, 10 at night. And
Oh no.
yeah, like
Uh-uh.
I've thought about it because she's into like Jenny is the tarot, and I think they would have so much to talk about because tarot's not my thing,
Right, right.
but like her and Jenny could have a great conversation about it. And she's also into the crystals and the herbs, so that's
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Oh, you should. You should bring her in there. I mean, it would be, and she could put her own spin on things. Yeah, because hello, she gets to see wonderful people and their quirky personalities. I always say, like your hairdresser and your nail person, that those are your two like main people. They're better than like your general practitioner, your doctor, your dentist, right?
Oh God, yeah. In fact, I joke with my nail girl all the time that I said I wish I could pay you with my health insurance card because it's kind of like a little therapy session while I'm there. And yeah, so that's a running joke
That's
where
awesome.
I'll hand her my insurance card. And she's like, yeah, no.
Debit card, give me your debit card. So couple new programs that I've got going on. So I've got one-on-one. I do the psychic readings, but whenever I see the people that want to put their life back together. Okay. So with a psychic reading, you are getting the love, money, career, relationships, where you're going, what you're doing, how you're getting there, the guidance and the clarity, as well as the connecting and communicating with loved ones. So that's good. But for the people that are like, my life is a mess, I don't know how to find me again, then what I deem as badass power coaching is a really cool one-on-one program. It usually runs for like a month. It's a every week we meet via phone, Zoom, and it's a combination of the intuitive coaching, because you come and you say, I've got this, and I intuitively go in and go, no, you got this. So I can see what's going on behind the scenes as far as that goes. So we work on that on a conscious level. Then we come in with the hypnosis to deal with it on a subconscious level and rewire the brain that way. And then we come in with quantum healing and do it on an energetic level. So the badass power coaching hits you on so many different levels, because you could go to a therapist and talk about this, but it's not going to get to the bottom. Sometimes this shit is rooted really deep and we don't even realize that or know that. So the one-on-one coaching has been awesome. Having some great success with that. There is a group program that I am super excited. So the badass power coaching one-on-one, that is all very customized to you. So if somebody came and said, I have a block with money, so we're going to target self-worth or the self-esteem, or I have a block with relationships, I have an issue with my weight, whatever it is, it's going to be fully customized. And we kind of even build it out as we go, because this might have been an issue this week, but next week, this is what I ran into. And now this is like a major issue for me. So it's going to be fully customized to each person, which is really cool. The new program is, I'm so excited. And next week I will be doing a free masterclass on my personal page. It'll be there for the public. So by all means, feel free to tag me in here, and people can get over to it if they, tag anybody who, you think they would be interested in it. So on September 27th, I'm doing a free masterclass. And the talking about the new program, which is a 1-month program. It's going to run from October 9th through November 12th. And it is called Happy Now Hacks. And it's a group program. You get homework every single week. We meet on Zoom every single week to implement, but it is designed, it's very specific about people and their happiness, because so many people are like, I just want to be happy. Well, if I say to you, well, what does happy mean to you? Jill, happy's gonna mean something different to you than it does to Jenny, than it does to, to each person. So we work through that, we collaborate, and we define that. And and it's to recognize, what does happy mean to you? And then we implement all the steps to help people recognize and rebuild self-confidence, self-esteem, self-worth, which, again, women struggle with all the time. And it's not to say that men can't join, but I really, my heart and soul and my passion, and people know this is being where I was, what I went through with losing my husband, losing my mom, losing 2 dogs. We all have shit. We all have trauma. And how do you bounce back from that? And that's what this is all about. Reclaiming your power, reclaiming your purpose, finding your purpose, finding your passion in life. And so that's what this program is going to do, is to help you recognize and rebuild self-confidence, self-esteem, self-worth, reclaim your power, your purpose, and your passion, so that you can be happy. And some really awesome hacks, when we say hacks, because people don't have time for long drawn out shit, right? We call it now, we are in a TikTok world. And Jenny, you do a ton of TikTok, so you know this.
Yeah.
We talk about stopping the scroll. People get in there, and TikTok world is, you have like 3 seconds to grab somebody's attention.
Yep.
Number one,
about this yesterday.
yeah. Number one, we don't have the attention span. Number 2, we don't have the time. So we build, so I'm like, okay, I've got different programs, you could do one-on-one for a month, but this program is built where every week you get, an assignment, and you get like a video, and it drops into your email at the beginning of the week. And then we have a live Zoom session halfway through the week, so that we can talk about things. You can work on it whenever you want. It's your program, your time frame. If you don't make it to the live, you don't make it to the live. It's recorded, and then there's a group, a private group where we're building community of like-minded ladies that can be your friends if you want to be friends and you want to participate. But then I'll go in there and answer questions, at least once a week, and do like a short live and pull in questions too, because maybe you couldn't be on the Zoom session, and that's the goal, is to give you the tips and the tricks and the techniques to help you recognize, oh, I'm going down a rabbit hole. You know what? My life just hit a shit storm. And how can I bounce out of that? How can I flip that switch that quick? And you really can flip that switch that quick to learn happiness, to be more happy. And it's a matter of choice. But the problem is, people, you can research it and research it and research it, because that's what we do, right? We Google and we Google and we Google. But you get this bit of information and this bit of information and that bit of information. And now you're like, I've got all this information, but what the fuck do I do with it?
Right.
Well, guess what? We're going to put it together, and we're going to create step by step how you do it, and make sure that this is how I need to do this. This is what I need to do with the information. Now it's my choice. Do I work the program? Or do I stay stuck? Do I choose to stay stuck where I'm at? If I give you the tools, there's no reason that you can't build your empire. If you sit there and look at those pretty shiny tools and you don't build the empire, that's your fault. So that's what the 1 month program is. And that's pretty cool. So free masterclass on my page, just Kelly McLeod, September 27th. I'll be talking about that coming up. I'll also be putting it up on Eventbrite and sharing links as far as that goes.
Okay.
Another thing that came up this week or this last month, kids started going back to school. Now, here's the crazy thing. I'm already seeing this kind of stuff. And it's like, I look at it and I go, they're too young for this. They are too young for this. So COVID changed the world as we know it. And everybody became weird, and everybody, we didn't even recognize and realize how much we know how it affected us, our jobs, our economy, our money, everything else, but we never really thought about how much it affected the children. So the kids are out of school, kids get back to school. And now what I am finding, there is a lot of awkwardness. There's more bullying. The kids don't know how to relate. They lost half of their social skills. So I started working with parents, and it's crazy because it was like 3 different avenues. I have coaching programs and especially hypnosis for the kids. So we've got super learning, which kids or adults, because we've got adults going back to school. We've got adults that are, trying to get master's degrees and stuff like that. We lose our skill over time. When you're not in school on an ongoing basis, you lose your skill. And some of us didn't have a whole lot of skill to begin with. So we've got the super learning, which helps with hypnosis and learning blocks, also retaining information, test taking anxiety. So that is one vein of the student packages. Super sports. We've got some kids out there and the parents are pushing the sports because those sports are what's going to bring scholarships. But if the kids can't hold up on the academic level, then they're not able to do the sports. So we kind of hit both with the academic and with their building their self-confidence and self-esteem for sports performance. So that's another one that's super cool. All of this can be done via Zoom, via, phone. But the one that is so super cool I'm working with is it's a social acceptance. Okay. So the program is so cool because it deals with self-confidence. It deals with social acceptance and self-acceptance. We have kids now that are non-binary. We have kids that now are transgendering. And if they're not transgendering, regardless of where they're at, they're gay, they're lesbian, they're this, they're that. Everybody wants to put a fucking label on everything. Just let them be kids. But society has created such an ugliness that everybody needs to be fucking labeled. And if you don't fit into the box, then you are, you're like ostracized. And these kids don't know what to do. So developing this program was all about them learning, they're building their self-confidence and learning to accept their own self first, so that once they do that, then they can go out and build into social acceptance. And this was so huge for a couple of families, because I've got a couple of families that they're, one family child is gay, one family child is transgendering, and you know, and different male, female, it doesn't matter. And they were having such a hard time acclimating and feeling weird, and they don't want to come out to their friends, or they don't want to be bullied, all this stuff. But what we're starting to see the difference is that they are getting that self-confidence, and whenever they carry themselves different and they are good with them, people are also good with them too. That's what we're finding. So it's such a beautiful thing as far as that goes. So that is one of the other aspects of what I've got going on. Now, I will tell you, and I wish I could, I'll have to do it, I'm going to find a way to attach the video. There is someone that is in the paranormal community with you guys, and she came to me, and she did a reading. We started this program, and it's the Spiritual Gifts Program. So we know that people are excited about, they would like to see more, feel more, hear more. And it's one thing to do psychic development, but to specifically hone in on the gifts of the spirit, meaning, you know, your psychic senses, clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, you know, clairgustance, clairaliens, all that. So she happens to also, she is deaf. And this was really interesting because I had to adapt the program. Normally, I would have you on Zoom, and I would walk you through a meditation that you're doing the meditation while I'm doing the energy work to clear whatever is blocking your clear seeing, whatever is blocking your hearing on a psychic level. I would walk you through the meditation. But what was interesting is she's deaf. So we turned on closed captioning, and I told her what I wanted her to visualize while we were doing it and to set a timer. I did the quantum healing, and the crazy thing, within like 2 days, she sends me a video, and she's doing this with her hand, and there is a glow. And we did the DNA activation on top of it so that she could hold more light, which we know that anybody that's heard me with the DNA activation is raising your vibration to the point where the cells in your body is changing the DNA shape, size. So if you can imagine, you've got a wine glass inside you, you've got all these wine glasses, okay? Or Dixie cups. We got Dixie cups inside of us. And each Dixie cup, each cell is a Dixie cup, and it holds only so much liquid or light. So with the DNA activation, we're turning up and we're amplifying it, and we're taking the Dixie cup and we're stretching it to the size of a bucket. Now inside of you, you have many buckets, larger cells to hold larger vibration, to hold larger amounts of light. People will say, well, why would I want to do that? Various reasons. In our world, and especially now going into 2024, every year we have a new theme. Every year, as we start out, let's say we start out going 25 miles an hour at the beginning of the year. By the end of the year, we're doing 75 miles an hour. Okay. Next year starts, we start at 75 miles an hour. Now we're up to 125 miles an hour by the end of the year. So, and roads get bigger. Now we got more road rage. Okay. So when I'm talking about this, using the metaphor, we've got people, the energy and the vibration in the world is speeding up. We then have more people that are dealing with more bullshit in life. So when I talk about the road rage, you're on the road and this one comes crashing at you and this one comes crashing at you. And you're like, I'm just trying to get from point A to point B. and be safe at it and dodge all the bullets in between. So that's how it actually works. On a spiritual level, on an energetic level, we are vibrating at this level. But the world keeps growing. It's not going to stop for us. It's not going to stop for anybody. By the end of the year, we're vibrating here. Okay. And then people aren't always nice. So instead, what happens is we raise our vibration so that when Susie comes at you being in super bitch mode, normally you would take it very personal. But because of the DNA activation and being able to hold more light, you are like, Susie, I'm really sorry for your bad luck. I hope you have a great day. And then you're able to walk away instead of taking it personally, and instead of it like eating you alive for the day, we are able to deal with it better, and we're able to let it roll off of us better. So what we did, and I will say that if she ends up watching it, if you guys do closed captioning, if she watches it, her name is Natasha. And she's given me permission because I'm going to be using her testimony stuff. Natasha is deaf. She's doing the spiritual gifts. The very first one, the quantum was bringing up and she did the DNA. The quantum was bringing up all kinds of stuff, traumas that was blocking her psychic vision. And suddenly she's starting to see, spirit flashes here and there and here and there within 2 days. She also then does the video and she's like, I never noticed this. And there is this gold glow coming all the way around. And I'm like, oh my God, crazy.
That's
So,
amazing.
God, I'll share it. I will share it. It is crazy amazing. I'm like, that is some, because we are working with all of our senses. For somebody who is deaf, they have to come about things a little bit different. So this week we worked on clairaudience. She's deaf. Okay. The crazy thing, she comes out of the meditation and she said, I heard all of it. She said, I heard we do part of a meditation, and she said, I heard the whales singing. I heard the harps.
That's awesome.
And I'm like, she's deaf.
Yeah.
But she heard it. So this is like, so to me, I'm like, this is awesome. Is everybody going to experience it? No, because we're going to do it a little bit. Everybody's going to be different. But because she is deficit in one regular human way, her stuff had to be amplified a different way. And she lives in Saginaw. She's up by you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And she's running her own paranormal group.
Cool.
Oh, yeah. So she was like, I want to be able to do this. And she is also working on, she does artwork. So she's working on being a spiritual artist.
Okay.
So she's opening up all of her senses with that. So the spiritual gift program, I'm really excited because people they would like to be more. And again, this is not just your psychic development. This is all about clearing out whatever is blocking you from being able to psychically see, hear, feel, using it's 5 sessions. It's one every single week. And then also it's a 6 session with the DNA activation, but we do that on the very first session. So we stack like the 2 together.
Okay.
So it's been very, very cool.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. That's one I would like a little more information on.
Yeah.
Right.
I have a therapist. And this is really crazy. And she's getting ready to jump into the program. And again, it's not in a group, it's one-on-one because everybody's got their own different way that we need to come about it. But she is a clinical psychologist. She's a therapist, and she is dealing with a child that has some spirit stuff going on. And she's like, you know, like, my hands are tied. And she's like, I would like to be able to tune in more. Because she doesn't want to bring this to like other psychologists, because she's going to be considered a weirdo. She's in mainstream, you know. So she's getting ready to jump in on the program so that she can see what's going on more with her people and feel on a more intuitive level.
Okay.
I would like to note, I have recently started seeing a therapist. And I have also turned her on to you because she is also on a spiritual path.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, this
So,
is crazy. It's crazy amazing. Like I said, and I told, you know, I told Natasha, I was like, will you like send me testimonies so I can, you know, and this video over the weekend, she had sent me the video and I was like, I was dumbfounded. Absolutely dumbfounded.
can't get a better testimonial than that.
I know. I was like looking at her hand and I'm like, okay, I'm not really seeing. And I'm like, and she moved it and I was like, there's a freaking glow going on around your hand. Like this crazy glow. And she goes,
That's
I never saw it. I never noticed it before. And I don't know. Let me see here. I don't know if you can. Can you see that?
Yeah, I can see it. That's crazy.
Isn't that insane?
That's yeah, wow.
Yeah.
I was like so stunned. I was like, oh my God, it was crazy.
That's
So I'm so excited.
yeah, that's something for sure.
And then
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And then in this last session, somebody who, you know, again, who is deaf, and she said, oh my God, I heard every single bit of it as clear as day. I heard, and she has never known what, you know, like you hear like a harp or something. So spirit was trying to show her the difference and how she could recognize when, like she said, well, what does that? And I said, well, to me, spirit is showing you the difference. If this is your higher level, your higher team, like an angel or a spirit guide, they're going to let you hear the harp first.
Mm-hmm.
So that is telling her the difference. You're doing paranormal. This is either a spirit, lower level, or this is universal, higher level, angel, spirit guide level. And so that's how they were differentiating. She'll hear the harp first. And for somebody that doesn't know what a harp sounds like, for somebody that's deaf, and she was like, oh my God, I heard the whales singing. I heard the harp. So
Yeah.
I'm excited. It's
That's
very cool.
incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's what I have going on. And in my world is I've got a kind of got different pockets. I've got helping women to, you know, helping them find their inner badass, helping them locate and activate and reclaim their power and their inner badass. Group style, reclaiming your power, self-confidence, self-esteem. Students, helping them to be the best that they can be. And then also the spiritual gifts for the people that are on that journey to, you know, to open them up with that.
That's awesome. You've got a lot of
So
amazing programs
yeah,
going right now.
Yeah, you're a busy, busy woman.
it's been busy, and my coach is like, don't you can't be like a confused, buyer never, or a confused person never buys. You offer them too much, they don't know what they want on the smorgasbord. Like focus on one thing. And I say, I can't do that because I've got people coming from different arenas and different magnitudes. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm there to serve them and whatever is for their greatest and highest good. Because we've got some people that I'm good in my life, but I'd like to get into the intuitive more. We've got people that are broken and they're like, I need to find who I am. I need to find that happiness. So we help them on this level. And so yeah, it's been a really cool journey with all of it.
So
Yeah,
So
it sounds like it.
yeah, you're definitely, definitely busy.
always plus doing my own studying, plus doing, I always got something going on and trying to learn, trying to grow on my end.
And
But
that's
also
why we
to
like having you on, because every time we do, you're doing something different. And then that can keep the listeners up on what you're up to too.
yeah, I appreciate, I love coming on and hanging out with you ladies because it's always so much fun, and it's wild, it's wacky, and it's zany. And don't we need more of that? I mean, like, we so need more of that fun in our life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's always good. Like, I'm always so excited about what I'm doing, because when I get to hear the results, my heart is on, that makes my heart on fire. And if we, like I always say, if I can touch one life, then my purpose, my goal is totally fulfilled. And so whether that is through a reading, whether that is through one-on-one coaching, whether that will be through the group and help people in that aspect, whether that helps them grow their intuition or their psychic gifts, whether it helps the students, I just want to make sure that I have what people need. And if it's in my niche, to help them. And the two major, the foundation of everything is through the psychic intuitive ability. You're coming to me for this problem. I can then look at it and say, you think you have this problem, but you really have this problem.
Mm-hmm.
So let's attack this so that you can be where you want to be in life. And that's always my goal, is to help you be the best you. And then when I get the aha moments from people, or the hand glowing kind of thing, I'm like, this is why I do what I do, and I absolutely love it.
And we love you for it.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. So yeah, guys, have any questions? Like, I talked the entire time, as always.
Honestly, I'm pretty dumbfounded. When does the first of the helping to find your inner badass and your power start?
So
You said there was a group for that?
the group is going to be, it's going to officially start October 9th, and it's going to run through November 2nd.
Okay.
So every week they will have, every Monday you'll get like an assignment in your email. You'll get the handouts, you'll get a quick video, and then I think I have it scheduled on Wednesdays or Thursdays. Then there will be an actual live Zoom class, or a live in the group.
Okay.
And then you'll have access to that group where everything will kind of live in the group. You'll be able to go back through and revisit those and see. There will be some early bird specials. There will be some, quick action specials. So the free masterclass is going to be on the 27th of September, so next week. And then
Okay.
I will release all the details, the early bird pricing.
Alright.
All that will come out on the 27th. People will have about a week. And then October 9th, it officially launches for 4 weeks.
Okay. Well, this is perfect timing then, because then we'll release this on Sunday and then you'll have your release on the 27th. So
Yeah, and I'll get
Hopefully
you
we can get
the
people signed
link
up.
for, well, no, I was gonna say, I was gonna do the if I do the link on Eventbrite, then that would have to be a Zoom session. So instead, I'm just gonna do it live on my page. So you can tag Kelly McLeod, and that way anybody that wants to jump on live, they can do that on the 27th.
Okay.
all right.
So there'll be some nice quick tips there as far as getting your happy on, and the art of allowing, the art of permission. Because so many people, you want to be happy, but do you give yourself permission to be happy? Yeah, I know people don't get that, and then you start like really scratching the surface and picking the brain, and it's like, okay, I want this, but either A, I'm afraid to actually go for it, because this is what's crazy. I want. What will life be like when you achieve it?
I will be right back.
Okay. What will life be like when you actually achieve it? And most people can't get to where they're going because they don't know. I can say I want this, but I don't know what it's going to look like and or feel like when I get there. So how can I create it if I don't know what it looks like?
Makes sense. It's
So that's
kind
what
of
we
like
do.
the whole visualization thing. If you don't know what it looks like, you can't visualize it. Like for me anyway, like I can visualize a retro style microwave because I know what one looks like. I've seen one. However, if someone is trying to describe it to me, I'm gonna have, this hodgepodge thing that might look like a car instead of what it's actually supposed to be. So yeah,
Sure.
that makes
And it's
complete sense.
perception. Everything is perception.
Mhm.
And that's what we say with with so many things. People, when I do some of my master classes on manifesting and that millionaire mindset, people, oh, I would love to make more money. I would love to have 5,000 a month, 10,000 a month. I'd love to be at a millionaire level. But what will it be like? What will it feel like? What will your life, how will you act? And we see this with people that have won the lottery. They
Mhm.
came from a place of not having money. They came from lack and scarcity, right? Suddenly
Mhm.
they've got $1 million, and in no time they're broke again. And
Yep.
people are like, how could that have happened? Okay, so you have people that have already been taught that value of money. They know what to do with it. They know how to, it's no big deal. This is how they act. But then you've
Mhm.
got people that have come from none. And usually they come from none, they come into it, they go back to none because they don't know how to maintain the energy and the vibration to sustain that level.
Yeah. Makes sense.
So same thing with anything. Perfect health. Okay, I'm sick. I get healthy, but the doctor keeps saying, come back for your checkup. Come back for your checkup. Got to come back for that checkup. So what stays in their brain? At any moment, I could be sick again. At any
Yeah.
moment, I could relapse again. Then it gets close to that date, and then suddenly they're terrified. And every sniffle, every this, every that, next thing you know, they're sick as a dog
Mhm.
because your brain created that.
Yep.
So it is so
Manifestation at its
crazy.
finest.
And the power of, of the brain. We
Mhm.
are so powerful. I've been studying what they call the abundance codes and things like that. And literally they're like, and it's a leap of faith. So we can manifest things, right? We can
Mhm.
manifest all kinds of things, but the reality, this is a prime example. So if we can manifest a new car, a new driveway, a vacation, we can
Mhm.
manifest those. Now let's start talking about manifesting money. You can manifest money too, but what happens? You're in scarcity mode because, oh my God, I have this big giant bill looming, right?
Mhm.
So how can you manifest? The other ones you don't have anything tied to. There's no skin in the game. I want a new car. I want a new driveway. I want a new roof. I want a vacation. But there's not that immediate pressure. So you can go into the feeling moment of, oh, driving this new car, smelling that new leather, oh, being on vacation in the sun and the sand in my toes. You can do that. How do you manifest money knowing you've got a mountain of debt that you're sitting on? And you're like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. How am I going to pay it? How am I going to pay it? That's why a lot of people can't manifest the money, because you can't get into the feeling of it when you are freaked out about not having enough of it. So that's what I've been studying about, how to flip that energy so that we are, even if I've been working on a whole lot of, if there's a mountain of debt or even a large bill or whatever, I'm working on faith. It's like, it's there. I'm not even gonna stress about it. And I find something to kind of take myself away from it.
Mhm.
And that, because you get exactly what you're focusing on.
Yeah.
So if you're focusing on your relationship being shit and how you guys are arguing all the time, it's more arguments. If you are focusing on, God, I feel really stupid when I'm getting ready to take this class and I'm not going to be, you're getting exactly what you are asking for. So yeah, the mind is so powerful. It's crazy. And I have to
Agreed.
get my own ass kicked and remember this, because trying to walk your talk sometimes doesn't, I trip and fall,
Mhm.
but yeah, it's one of those things. So it's exciting, and you see it. And I try to watch as much stuff as possible to reinforce that, and so that I can know that foundation. And because you have to build new back roads for the brain.
Mhm.
So because like where you're taking this one path and it then becomes full of potholes. I can't, what if, I'm worried, I'm scared. So there's all your potholes on that road, right? And you
Mhm.
travel it, but it's so worn out and so worn down. And if they say, okay, we've got construction on that road to fix it, so we're going to detour you. And you're like, wow, this is a beautiful ride. And so you take the detour. So what happens? I don't want to go down that road anymore. I'm going to keep on taking the detour because it's a much nicer ride. I'm still going to get there, but I'm taking a different route. And because you're taking that different route, you're rebuilding a new place in the brain to take you. It's what they call a neuroplasticity. And it's literally rewiring the neurons in the brain, because our brain is constantly growing or constantly being damaged. So it's accepting. And they did a whole study on neuroplasticity and your self-talk. And they thought that the brain stopped growing at a certain age. But then they started doing the test on like 70s and 80-year-old people, and the brain was constantly growing and rewiring. So we're always a work in progress. And you know, really important and really simple, that if you are having a shit life, you're not stuck there, you're not destined. We can easily rewire that brain. And that's why with the coaching programs, that's why I developed it that way, is because we do it on a conscious level. We then do hypnosis on a subconscious level, and then hit it with the quantum healing on an energetic level in order to get the whole package and to get you the results that you want and need. Which the group program will also have some hypnosis in there with it as well.
Okay, interesting. I'm not gonna lie, I'm very excited for that. That's my current path, we'll say, is for rewiring my brain for various things.
And it's not only it's when you rewire your brain for standing in your power and getting your purpose back and your passion back about life, when you are standing in your power and rebuilding that self-confidence, self-esteem, and self-worth, then it affects every single area of your life. You know, and so you're building a strong foundation that, you know, somebody comes at you, and instead of it breaking you, we have a couple of different ways that we respond. Either it breaks us, or it triggers and we're ready to fight, or we just shut down and disconnect. You know, I'll tell you, over the weekend, I have a friend, and we were talking, and I thought that I was really good, but I'll tell you what, he called me out on some shit, and I'm very grateful that he did. Called me out on some shit and helped me. He triggered me hard and helped me to see what I have become, but that my cutoff game is like, I don't like something, bam, I will shut it down, cut it off, and I will walk away. And even though we think that's standing in our power, it's not standing in our power. Just because you have a strong cutoff game does not mean it's healthy. Because what you're saying is, I am just going to keep on walking away, and I'm going to keep on walking away. It's a safety mechanism. It's a defense mechanism, because
keep yourself from getting hurt.
You can't hurt me. And I will tell you, I didn't even see it. I did not even see it. And you know, that was something that I had to see in the dating world, is that I find flaw with every single, and I haven't even really tried to date since dating the narcissist and kicking them to the curb like over a year ago. But I have gone out on a couple of dates to different people, and I immediately found something wrong with them. And then, not my type, or not this, or you don't fit into my lifestyle and whatever. And we actually, and you know, remain friends. But what ended up happening is he called me out on it, and oh Lord, that was like ripping the scab off and dumping some hydrochloric acid in there. And so last weekend, I mean, I went through this whole emotional roller coaster, my mom, my this, my that, but I realized that he made me face some of the excuses. And that's what we do. We give excuses on why we can't be happy. We give excuses of why our life is in a shitstorm. We give excuses and excuses and excuses. And the power when you can own your shit. What just flashed right through your screen, Jenny?
I don't know.
First of all, on your left side there, well, to me, it's your left side. There's an energy. Yep, right there, right on that spot. There's an energy that's there. But I was like, is that a bird that just flew by? Was that a bat that just flew by? Like it literally, I saw it, this dark spot that just went shoo, right across your screen. And it was right at the point when I was saying the power when we can own our shit. And as painful as it is, that's when the healing begins. And I'll tell you, it knocked me on my ass this weekend.
It's been knocking me on mine all year.
Yeah. Well, see, like I said, my cutoff game, I've created what we do. I created a story. So we create stories and then we start telling our stories and we believe our stories. So part of my story, and it is true, I will tell you this to a degree, is it's true. Being single, being widowed for almost 5 years, and date a couple of times and it didn't work out, and then dealing with a narcissist, and then that was disastrous. That does a lot of damage. I have gotten to the point where I am so comfortable in my house, in my space, in my own company. That is a strength and a power. Okay. But when we also sit there, but we also build, and I always say, if I never date again, and we'll go, okay, TMI here. If I never date or have sex again, I'm 54 years old. I'm all right with that. I am not a hookup person. I'm not a friend with benefit person. It's not going to happen. Okay. But if I never do it again, I'm okay with that. And then I would say, but it would be nice to have that. But then the opportunity comes along and I immediately found flaw. And I went into my story, but that's okay. They're not my person. And I'm good by myself. And I'm like, you are running. And again, he called me out and I'm like, you're running a really good line of bullshit. And so it was interesting. And it really helped me because I'm like, why do I need to go through this? Well, you need to go through it in order to help other people go through it. And that's what we all do. Jill has to go through her stuff with her people and her work and everything else. Why is she going through this stuff and this bullshit? Because to some degree, I don't care if you're in a professional motivational speaking or psychic or healer or whatever, you're still touching lives. We are all touching lives in some way. So the people that are more spiritually evolved, we're getting hit the smackdown first.
Can I request a break on the SmackDown? Because my ass is sore.
Union. like union break, right?
Yes.
I don't even belong to the union, but the spiritual union, I'm in the spiritual union. I would say 666, but that's not the case. I'm in spiritual union 333, which is, the other half there. But I'd like a union break because I'm really tired of getting my ass handed to me, but we have to do it because we're touching lives. When you scratch that surface and decide that you're going to be on that spiritual evolvement, you kind of take that oath and saying, I'm opening, I'm learning this for my own, but aren't we all in the world, not just for ourselves, but what we can also share with other people around us? That's what born for. You know, it's
One
not
of the
always,
Sorry, one of the ways that it was put to me, very recently was that because I had asked the universe for the upgrade and for, the betterment of myself, my world had to crumble. And I had to see the shards, so that I could pick the pieces that I want so that I can build my own window and make my own story so that I can make
absolutely,
it better. So,
absolutely. You know, and because like we were talking about, like having to do that, and also at the same time going through it for our own self in order to help others. Because when you go from me, this is all about me. Now I'm going to tell you, this is how I take my classes. I do this because I take a class because I'm personally interested in it.
mhm.
And then I go, how can I take this information and how is it going to help my clients? That is always my roundabout thinking. Well, this is going to help me personally, but is it going to benefit my clients in the long run? So I'm always looking at it from that aspect. And when we go from me to us to we, that's when things start really opening up for you, is because, the universe says, I'm going to do this and I'm going to help you with this. It's not the road. It might not be, great and soft and squishy. It might have some bumps and bruises, but in the long run, you're going to be a better person. And at the same time, you're going to be able to share your story to benefit your broken, your heartache. Then at some point your story becomes somebody's survival guide. You have a lot to think about, Jenny. You've had a hard road. So your story, I want you to start thinking in those terms. Your story is really, it's about you. You chose it. And I sit there and go, well, how fucking stupid was I?
Right?
I want to read a comic book, not a drama, damn it.
Oh, I wish I would have chosen a lesson that wasn't entirely 100% emotional.
Yeah, absolutely. But your story, when you choose to do something with it, as you are growing, then becomes somebody's survival guide. And that's what I'm working on, a world tour, speaking tour. And it's, and my book, the same, From Broken to Badass, finding my light at the end of the tunnel. And it is all about helping people learn through my own tragedies, going from the bottom of the barrel, going through the ringer, and how to do the bounce back and how to survive, go from surviving to thriving. And it's
Yeah.
and it's going to haunt you. I'm going to say this. It's going to haunt you
Yeah.
and haunt you and haunt you until you say, all right, I accept my mission.
Yep. And as you were talking, I got what the mission is. And that makes complete and utter sense. And that's part of why I'm crying, because I know that the road I have ahead of me is gonna fucking hurt.
But
So, but I'll be better at the end.
okay. Yes. It's like having surgery.
I hate
Jill,
having surgery.
did you have carpal tunnel surgery?
No.
So if you have surgery, oh, the internet's being funky. There we go. We don't want to have surgery, right? But we know it's like the necessary evil, and
Mhm.
it's going to hurt. but then it makes your life better in the long run. And I get that. It's just like my friend calling me out over the weekend on my shit. I built a safe, comfortable queendom. I live in a queendom.
Yeah.
And it's all good in my world. I have everything that I need. But I could have more with the right person if I will allow them to come in. But I realize I've experienced so much loss that is what is the emotionally triggering, is that the fear, the disappointment, the vulnerability, the putting myself out there and it possibly failing. So I created a new story. My story is one of fantastic. It's fabulous. But it's my story. And sometimes we have to get out of our own story and allow. And everything that you are going through, it has a purpose. Even for all your listeners, everything that they are going through in their life has a purpose. We might not see it at that moment, but there's a purpose to that pain. You know, your spiritual birthright is to be happy, to be healthy, to be loved, to be abundant. Those are spiritual birthrights. But in order to get there, we have to go through some of the fire, because if you don't understand that, how can you know when something is good if you don't know what it's bad?
Yeah.
And I really hate that shit. Like, can you just make sure that the milk is good? I don't want to have to taste it. Just make sure the milk is good.
Right.
You know, because here's me. Nope, there's an expiration date on it. I don't care if it's expired or not. It's going right down the drain. I'm not smelling it. I'm not tasting it. I am automatically throwing that shit away.
That's hilarious. I am so, oh, this smells terrible. You need to smell it.
Right. Why? I get that all the time. Oh, this milk stick. Babe, smell it. No, you just said it stinks.
I trust your decision and your good judgment on this one. And aren't we funny people like that? And me, I'm opposite. I'm like, nope. I'm not smelling it. I'm not tasting it. Guess what? It says that it's due on the 28th and it's sell by date, right?
Right.
Going right down the drain by midnight, by 11:59 on the 27th, it's going straight down the drain. Not even going there. So yeah, we have to experience the good, the bad, the ugly in order to know the awesome, the phenomenal, and the great.
Yeah, I'm ready for that part.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I'm ready to close out this year and get rolling into 2024 and do it like, gangster style. I am just like totally taking it. But I will share with you guys, I am so excited. Okay. So November 5th, and it fell in a really quirky time. There was a couple of dates, but I do travel agent shit on the side. And I do it because my love and passion is travel as well. And I can work anywhere in the world. I just don't always have the funds to go on the traveling. But if they throw me a good deal, then okay. So as one of my perks came in, and they were like, we've got this special going on, and it's kind of boring, and I am going by myself, like totally by myself, 8 nights. Okay, so my mom's birthday is November 3rd, and the anniversary of my husband's passing is November 13th. So I am leaving November 5th, 2 days after my mom's birthday, and I come back on the anniversary on the 13th. So I'm doing an 8-night cruise out of New York, balcony cabin, and the flight was pretty cheap. But I only paid $160 for my cruise.
Oh my goodness. That is
That's
a
amazing.
huge deal.
Yeah. No, I mean, and as with any cruise, if you want alcohol package, then you're going to pay more. But I will invest in the internet services because I've got time. Because again, I'm by myself, and there's 3 days at sea. It's I say a boring cruise. So it's out of New York, and it goes to it's 3 days at sea, and then it's a full day in Miami, and then a day in Ocean Cay, which is their private island part, and then a day in Nassau, Bahamas, and then 2 days at sea coming back to New York. And I thought, you know what? I'm just gonna go and single girl it, and I'm gonna enjoy my time. I have a couple of people that, I asked my sister, can you take time off? She's like, can't do it. I have another friend that I said, okay, can you, because I really can't deal with a lot of people in traveling, especially that long. If I've never traveled with you, it's pretty likely I don't want to travel with you, like, and be stuck in the same room with you, because if you're like sitting there, like talking my ear off at the end of the night, and I'm like done for the day, I am more than likely going to find some duct tape. And I will, so I'm like, I'm just going to sit and chill, and I'm going to work on business while I'm there. And it's a fun, relax, recuperate, recharge. And yeah, it was a great price. So I was like, okay, I'm doing it.
Well,
So-
good for
Awesome.
you. That sounds amazing.
That's my excitement, my fun stuff. So I'm like, okay.
That's awesome.
So guys, I will stay here. It's the same thing every single time. I'll stay here, cut half of this out, whatever you need to do to edit it, trim it. You got 5 episodes all in one day. I mean, shit.
Look, I'm not gonna lie. I don't edit shit. I don't really have the time to go through. And I mean, I would say, unless we're having an issue where like my internet keeps cutting out, or Jenny's or whatever, then okay, we're just gonna scrap it and start over tomorrow.
Right.
And we've done that.
Yep.
But I don't edit. One, I don't really have the time to edit, especially, the shorter ones, yeah, sure, I could. But yeah, for the most part, I don't edit anything. In fact, yesterday, when you were having your internet issues, I'm like, you know what? I'm up. We're doing something. So we've been trying to figure out a way to kind of like revamp a little bit to.
Okay. So wait. So let's end this and stop the recording,
Okay.
and then let's talk about that.
Okay.
So as always, I always have the best time. I get to tell you all the fun stuff that's going on in my life, and what I'm doing, and what I'm creating, and what I'm trying to help people with, and part of my mission. And I am so grateful. I am always so honored to be on your podcast and to share with you ladies and have a lot of fun. So thank you. I appreciate that so much.
Thank you for taking the time to do it, because I know Jenny, I can speak for Jenny, we feel the exact same. We love having you on. It is fun. We love hearing the new stuff. And it is always a great time.
And then we'll talk about the extra comedy show one too. We might have to sell tickets because that shit's going to be off the hook.
Oh yeah.
Yes, we definitely need to set up a date for that.
Definitely. For sure.
And people can get to my website. I know that you'll post the link, and I'll talk to you about that in the process, because there's a very specific way. I'm going to teach you a very specific way to do that.
Okay.
So it's better for things. But people can reach me. You have to put the www in there. So if you just do kelleinspires.com, it'll send you to like a dead page.
Hmm.
They have to put www.kellyinspires.com,
Okay.
and they can reach me. Come over to my personal page. There's links on there in the bio, the link tree that's in there. Schedule your own session, schedule coaching, join the free masterclass, get on the email newsletter list. We'll have dinner, we'll have drinks. Gosh, I got it all going on here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I appreciate you guys so much.
And we
We
appreciate you.
appreciate you. Jake.
You guys rock.
I hope everyone has a great week and enjoy the episode and all of Kelly's wisdom, and hopefully join one of her classes.
And hopefully we'll see you there.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Bye.